What's up, guys? Johnny G-Box here. Welcome to the channel Big Pants Underground. Today, I'm going to go a little off topic. I'm not really going to talk about a movie or any type of entertainment per se. You can see here, what we're talking about is this CNN contributor, this woman. I'm not even sure what her name is, and I really, honestly don't care what her name is. This just demonstrates the systemic problem that we have in this country with racism. And racism is not just on the shoulders of the white man. Okay. The racism is on the shoulders of the black man. Racism is on the shoulders of any other different race. Okay. It's time to stop beating around the bush. All right. White people like white people, black people like black people, Asian people like Asian people. That's just, go to Japan, go to China. You know, they don't deal with it. They don't deal with any kind of social justice. You're in Japan, you're Japanese. You speak Japanese. They don't care. And their movies, you know, and everything else, it reflects that. It's only in America that we have this problem. We're going to give you a chance to listen to what this woman has to say. And then I'm just going to talk about it a little bit because it just makes me mad. It makes me mad. All right, let's give it a listen.
So racially charged because of what had happened just before with Rodney King, but also just how Black Americans feel about policing. It's not like O.J. Simpson was the leader of the civil rights movement of his era. You know, he wasn't a social justice leader, but he represented something for the Black community in that moment, in that trial, particularly because there were two white people who had been killed, and the history around how Black people have been persecuted during slavery. There were just so many layers, so racially charged because of what had happened just before.
Pause that. Okay. So basically what she's saying is that when OJ, of course, OJ died yesterday. That's the reason we're all talking about this. But what she's saying is that when OJ, I guess, won the trial, I guess, or was acquitted for the murder of Nicole Brown Simpson and Ron Goldman, Black people were very happy about it. They celebrated. They were hugely happy about it. There were some white people probably happy about it. Who knows? You know, anybody that doesn't like the cops were probably weren't too annoyed with it. But anyway, she is saying, and the jurors have come out and said, and everyone else has come out and said, that the reason that OJ got off was because there was a majority of a Black jury. They knew that he was guilty. They've even come out and said, this man is guilty as hell. If you read, just read about the trial and the murder. Okay. If you know, it was a long time ago. So if you know anything about it, read about it. And when you get done reading about it, you will find out that this dude, he was guilty. There was no doubt at all that he was guilty. And he got off for one reason, because it was a majority of a Black jury, and Rodney King had just happened, and they let him off for spite, basically, I guess, but this is part of the problem with our country, man. It's okay for this woman to get on CNN, which, you know, you can argue was a major news network, but nobody really cares anymore. Nobody really watches CNN. You can argue that this woman is on CNN basically saying that the Black people were happy because OJ killed two white people. Now, if the role was reversed and she was a white person and saying that the white people were happy because Derek Chauvin killed George Floyd, and that's why the white people were happy about that, boy, you would never see this woman again. If she was white, they would have escorted her from the building that very second. They probably would have taken her to her house, burned the damn house down, buried her in a hole. You would have never seen this woman. But people are too afraid, man. People are too afraid to say that what she's saying right now is wrong. And I'm not going to be afraid. I'm not going to let them bully me. You know, people like her, people like the LGBT community, people like the trans activists. I am not going to let them bully me into believing what they believe. I have my beliefs rooted in science, and that's it. I don't believe what trans people say. I don't think that these people deserve anything. They've made their own situation. It's been over 150 years since slavery. Okay. Whatever situation they're in right now is the situation that they've made for themselves. Hands down. Did they have a hard time? Sure they did. Sure they did. Back in the early 1900s with segregation. Absolutely. Yes. They had a hard time. They did. And it was wrong. It was wrong that we did that, but we got rid of it. And by the 70s, by the time I was born in the 70s, black people were doing what they did. They could vote, they could drive, they could do whatever they wanted. I mean, O.J. Simpson is a perfect example. I mean, football star, he was the head of the advertisements for all the Hertz cars. He was a huge star back then, and he was black. And people loved him. My father used to love O.J. Simpson for a nomenclature reason. I'm not going to say exactly why, but because of a nomenclature reason. My last name is Simpson. Okay. People loved he loved O.J. Simpson simply because he was a football player. He loved football, and his last name was Simpson. After the trial, not so much. But stuff like this has to stop, man. It just got to stop. We can't keep doing this. People like her, you got to get rid of her for a more level-headed person. She's explaining this to 3 white people, like, yeah, we're so happy because OJ killed white people. I mean, come on. There's got to be, I don't think people should be canceled for what they did, or, what they say on TV but you can't do that. You can't say this stuff and get away with it and expect a white person to say something similar and not get away with it. And that's all there is to it. That's all there is to it. And exactly what she's saying is 100% true. It's 100% true. They were happy. So it's a shame. It's a shame that we have to deal with this in this country. And that's all I really had to say about that. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll talk to you later.